to forge Frederick's cross, also known as a split cross. A lot of times considered a beginner blacksmith project. So I think it's a fun project. I like to make them. Being the Christmas season, just felt like I wanted to make some split crosses, and I've made a few. I want to share this one with you. Most of the split crosses that you see are meant to be hung on the wall. So what we're going to do today, something a little bit different. We're going to incorporate its own stand into the forging to where it can be set on a table. That's usually the way I like to display them, on a stand. But you can hang them on the wall, that's cool too. But I like them on a stand. A lot of times I'll make them out of railroad spikes, and you just use the head of the spike, forge that into the stand. But today we're using a piece of 1/2-inch square stock, and I'll show you how we're going to put that integrated stand into the forging. So I'm going to bring you over here to the forge, and I'll show you some dimensions. I have a piece of 1/2-inch square stock already pre-cut on the bandsaw, and yeah, bandsaw is going to make this a lot easier. You could do it with a hacksaw, probably on a smaller scale, but you're going to have a tired arm because there is a lot of sawing involved. And you can also use, you can also split it with a hot cut, with a chisel in the forging. A lot of people do that too. But this material is so small, it'd probably destroy it trying to split it with a hot cut or a chisel. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut up, bring you guys over to the anvil, and I'll show you some dimensions that I've already pre-cut out. Alright, so I don't know if you can see this. I hope you can. The lighting's not too great. But this is the overall length. Crap. Alright, so I don't know if y'all can see this. I hope you can. But the overall length of the square stock is right at 9 inches. So this is an 8-inch rule. And there's about another inch hanging off the back of that. And I got my cuts in. The first cut was a very long cut, and it came up all the way up the stock to pretty much right at, let's get a real measurement here, right at 7 inches. So the first cut was up the stock all the way up 7 inches, and then I rotated the stock, and the second cut was into the stock right around, this is about, I was shooting for 2, but I didn't have the ruler over there. I wound up with 2 1/4, so it's fine. These are all nominal numbers. And then the third cut was, well, this is going to be the top of the cross, so it didn't need to be this long. Was from the distance where the two cuts intersect. And when I intersect the cuts, I usually like to make the intersection as wide as the stock. So this cut stops here, and this cut stops here, and that is roughly around 1/2 inch with that crossover on the intersection. So measuring off of the deepest cut here, that gave me it's about just over 2.5 inches. Well, actually 2 3/8 inches. So I just measured down from here, made a mark, and I cut all this off. I mean, I can use that for other stuff, but then I think, what am I on, fourth cut, I split again up the center of the stock, and this is material we're going to use to make the stand, so this thing can stand up on its own. This end of the split cross is going to be pretty routine, pretty basic. We're going to open it up, we're going to flatten it out, we're going to get all the dimensions right angles we want them to be, and then we'll, after it's opened up, flip it around, and we'll start to forge the little stand that we're going to make. So I'm going to go ahead and get the forge hot, and hopefully make all this make sense. I hope you can see the numbers. All these numbers are nominal, depending on how you want the cross to look. You can change any one of these dimensions, but these are just the dimensions I chose, pretty much because this is what will fit in my forge. So if I get any wider than 4 inches, it won't fit in my forge, and it just makes it a pain in the butt to work with. So these are the numbers I have for what I'm working with, and like I said, you can change them to however you want it to look. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the forge hot, and we'll start opening this thing up and hopefully make something pretty nice. Alright, so we're going to start with just kind of getting a partial opening. This is mild steel, by the way, so you see me hitting it in red heats, it's going to be okay. You don't want to get too dark because it can still crack. We're just going to try to start the separation. Okay, so now that I have it opened up a little bit, I'm just going to use this as a lever, pry bar. And this is thin enough where I can bend it. If it was thicker, it'd be a challenge. Alright, so now I'm going to use my cross peen. Hope I'm not blocking you. Well, drop it. You always got to drop it, of course. Okay. Yeah, use the cross peen and the just the edge of the anvil. And now I can, after I get it that far, get it opened up. I'm not really too concerned with how straight it is yet. I'm just kind of opening that up, get it out of my way. Now we're going to flip it around and we're going to start to forge the stand. Alright, so I'm going to take one side of this. I'm going to get it out of my way. And then we're going to work on this side here first. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and forge this into paper. I'm going to keep it square. Ultimately, the longer we get it, the better. It'll give us more stand. Alright, so one side is drawn out to a taper. Now we're going to bend this back down. Get this one out of the way. And do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so I got this side tapered out. I'm going to push this back. Just kind of see if both sides are roughly the same length. And they appear to be close. Tongs are not ideal. They are pretty close to being the same. Alright, so now we're going to get back up in here in the cross. I think this is going to be a little bit long here, so I'm going to nip about 1/2 inch off of that. Then we'll get to making the cross the way we want it, and we'll go back to the stand. So right now I'm not really doing any measurements, I'm just going by eye. You can just kind of make it look at the way you want it to look as far as your dimensions go. Some people might like it longer on the top. I like the top 3 to be pretty much dimensional, and the bottom one being usually twice as long. That's the top 3. to my eye, looks about right. So now we're going to get to making the cross. I'm going to try to figure out what's going to be the front. So I will probably make this the front. Alright, so I'll just use my cross peen now. I'm going to start out here on the end. I like the flared look. And because this is going to be freestanding and not on the wall, it'll be three-dimensional. Flip it over and do the back as well. Alright, now we're going to do the side, one of them, together, and I'll do the other one by myself. So I'm trying not to hit where it unfolded because there's some really nice lines and stuff in there that I don't want to hammer out. So I am avoiding directly hitting that center for now. The cross peen is giving me the shape I want, and it's also giving me the texture I want. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side. Alright, so now I'm going to start at the bottom. I'm going to stay away from what I've isolated to be the stand. A few incidental hits won't hurt anything. So I'm kind of spreading at the bottom, just kind of texturing up towards the top. So now I'm going to do the other side. Alright, while it's still flat, I'm going to take some time, do some straightening. Might as well get my mark in it. And again, I'm still trying to avoid that center. How symmetrical you want it right now is going to be up to you. Alright, for my eye, I think I'm where I want to be. So, at least for now, there might be still some last minute tweaking. So now we're going to get to working on the stand. So the first time I did this, I figured out pushing it front to back was easier than trying to make it go out to the side. So one side of this is going to go to the back. We're going to do one side at a time. And then the other side will go to the front when we get there. Alright, so right now, because of my forge, I'm having trouble getting it to fit. So, this is a challenge for me because of how big my forge is. Alright, so this is actually a challenge for me because of my opening in my forge. But as I get this rolled around, it gets better. Jump. This is pretty much to your own liking. So that's as far as I'll go with that one right now. Then we're gonna bend the other one back and do it the opposite direction. I can actually start that scroll now. Kind of where we're at with it. Now we're just going to try to make them, get them close to each other as far as how they look. The side of my anvil here, and it's going to take some adjusting. So right now the scrolls don't look anything I like, so I'm going to fix that real quick. Right now I'm just kind of fixing this scroll. I got it all wonkied out. I got it all wonkied. Okay. Open that up a little bit. Alright, now I'm in the tippity tap work, so I don't know if you can kind of see the gist of what's going on here, but I have some straightening to do. With any luck, that thing's going to stand up just like so. I have to do some straightening. Let's get down on it and take a look, see how it looks. Alright, so I'm going to spare you guys all this tippity tap work, but this is kind of what it's going to look like. and I'll do all the tippity taps and get everything straight to where nothing's crooked and everything is nice and flat so it doesn't wobble and it won't fall over when you put it on display. So that's the kind of stuff I'm going to spare you guys. It's just going to be a whole bunch of tippity tapping work. I'll bring you back when this thing is freestanding and ready to go. Alright, here it is. This one here I made last night. This is the one we were working on. I got all the tippity tap work done, all the fiddle work. I got everything straight. I got the little stand square and solid, so no rocking there. Should set up real nice. I did take it over to the power brushed all the scale off. It only flew across the room once, so that's a good thing. Came back and put a burnt beeswax finish on it, so this will be up for sale, hopefully sooner than later. So you can check that out if you want to find me on the Etsy and check out my Etsy store. Eventually these will be listed. I got a pile of stuff in there. I got a list. It's been busy with Christmas and everything, but yep, here it is. Just an idea I had. Made this one last night, made this one today. I got another piece of stock. I'll probably make a third one. So again, just want to thank you guys for stopping by and continuing to watch. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and yeah, check me out on all my platforms. Etsy, Rumble, Instagram, YouTube, of course, and yep, just thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you on the next one.